Hey everybody, happy Friday. You can't really see my face, but I have a technical review for you, and it's for all you stereo guys out there. So let's get into this review. I'm just going to turn my camera around and let you see what I'm going to review today. And it's this mini Pyle PGA41, oh, not PGA41, PGA1 stereo power amplifier. All you really have is just the power button and the volume control. And then if you turn it around, you have your inputs for your speakers. They're normal speaker terminals. So you got the red and black speaker terminal that you can run your wires to your speakers. You also have a wired in auxiliary cable, which I'll show you in a second, and a wired in AC power adapter. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, now what powers his system? Well, what does the amplifier power? Model 201 Series 4 loudspeakers from Bose. Mine are from 1999, if you're wondering. And they don't run through any extra equalization or any extra, yada, because they don't need it. And that's why I bought this amplifier. Because at this point, my setup really doesn't require a big fat receiver with, all the perks and quirks of, that you normally find in $300, $100 receivers. I don't need it. I just like listening to music in my little zone down here. So all I really need is a small amplifier I can just turn on, plug in my music, and go. That's what this is, and it's pretty good at doing that. Here are the two stereo cables that come with it. Now, you can use this unit for just hooking it up to, let's say, they're not that long. The auxiliary cables aren't that long, so you might have to sit this amplifier right next to your DVD player or other devices that might be enabled with stereo plugs. Like, for example, you could use this unit for studio monitors if your studio monitors have the speaker wire terminals, and then you could hook this up to your mixer in like a recording situation. But if you're like me, and most people are, you're probably going to end up using this unit along with your speakers with your computer, CD player, laptop, things like that. And if you want to do that, obviously you can't plug it in with your stereo plugs. So you will need to go out and buy, yes, I said go out and buy, these special adapters that go on a longer stereo plug that I have. And they're basically just little adapters that you can find. Let me give you a close-up. There you go, the black things. They're just little adapters that you can find at places like Best Buy, Radio Shack. I would look at Radio Shack first. And, and then you could check other places like Walmart or Radio Shack. But Radio Shack definitely should have them, because that's where I picked these up at. That goes to another set of stereo plugs, which then leads to my 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which you see here. And then this lets me plug in my CD player, tape player, computer, tablet, anything that has a 3.5 millimeter plug. Anyway, there's not much to it. All you got to do is turn on the amplifier. It's very quiet. Very quiet. There's no noise. So I can turn it up. Not much noise coming through my speakers. It's a very quiet amplifier. When you're done listening to your music, just turn it off. The best part about this unit is it doesn't color the sound in any way. In other words, whatever you put in it, it's going to put out. It's not going to color it. There's no special equalization. There's no equalization knob. There's no tone knob. There's none of that. Whatever goes in it will come out of it. And for me, that's a good thing, because my Bose speakers really don't need any extra equalization or extra compression of the sound or whatever the receivers do, because some of them do color the sound, guys. They don't need it. And so I was just looking for a budget-friendly receiver that I wouldn't have to pay $100 for when I'm only using it for one purpose, and that's just to listen to music. I do have my other things down here, like my game system and things like that. My GameCube has stereo plugs, so I can basically run my GameCube into my Pyle amp. So things like that can run into this thing. Pretty cool. Downsides, there's not many, but there's a couple. One is that they did not include the 3.5mm jack. They just include the stereo plugs. But once again, that can be fixed if you just go out and purchase another cable with the 3.5mm jack. You will need the adapters, so be sure you pick those up. Another downside is on the back with the plugs. I don't know if you guys can see that, but those are small terminals. They made the terminals very, very small. So, it actually took some effort to get my speaker wire in there because the terminals are very small. And the fit is kind of secure. It's not perfect. These things are plastic right here. They're spring-loaded, but they're plastic, so one of them's kind of sticking up there. But after a little bit of effort, I was able to get my speaker wire in there, and it didn't come out. It stays in there. Doesn't come out, doesn't wiggle, unless, of course, you wiggle it or move it or whatever. But it'll stay firmly in the unit, so that's a good thing. But you do have to cut your speaker wire down pretty small to get it in here. But it'll work eventually. Basically, that's it for the downsides. Well, here's another one. The aux cable is kind of a little too short. But once again, you can fix that with the adapters and connect it to another pair of stereo plugs. There you go. Problem solved. Anything after that, I don't have any more complaints. It's a good sounding unit. Once again, there's no extra equalization, there's no extra high-low control, so basically whatever you put in it is going to put out. And that's a good thing for you audio purists who don't want your sound colored at all. So if you don't want colored sound, you just want a nice linear sound, this unit can give it to you because it's only basically has just the volume knob and the power switch. Now obviously if you want more power, 15 watts is probably not going to be enough for you. But Pyle makes other receivers like this that are up to 60 watts or more. So you can maybe check that out on their website or on eBay, where I bought this guy for 30 bucks. That's not bad. That's actually kind of better than paying $100 for a Yamaha receiver. But don't get me wrong, Yamaha is great. But for those of you audio guys, stereo guys who are on a budget, but you want a good deal, check this guy out. It's the Pyle PGA1 stereo power amplifier. It's great, it's small, it's compact. You can fit it almost anywhere, even if you're carrying it to your grandma's house or your mom's house or wherever. You can fit it in your car, obviously, probably in the dashboard, and just go. It's a great little unit. I love it. From Pyle, 30 bucks on eBay. Go pick one up today.